Hello everyone, welcome again on my channel. Today we will see next topic in this video series for SAP MM, or you can say sourcing and procurement. So that is very important topic, that is pricing procedure in SAP MM. So note that pricing procedure is similar for ECC and S/4HANA, so there is no difference in S/4HANA and ECC. So it will be the same. So let's dive into video. But if you are new on my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel and also share this video with your friends. Thank you. So let's start with our pricing procedure today. So first thing, what is exactly pricing procedure? So pricing procedure in MM module is always to determine the prices that are involved in purchasing document. It gives us functionality to assign different calculation type for different needs of the business depending on document type or what terms and condition agreed with the vendor. So it's nothing but just the how we gonna pay to the vendor and which conditions we gonna consider, which terms and condition we gonna consider while paying vendor. Even taxes, freight, surcharges, discounts, everything in that. Then the main concept of pricing procedure, as I said, is just the combination of different type of charges involved while procuring any type of service or material. So there will be example like gross price, freight, discount, surcharge, tax, etc. Then pricing procedure is used to determine all the condition into one procedure in order to find out the subtotal for net amount. So it will be the combination of various conditions, or we can say various condition types altogether to determine final price of that service or material. Then next we will see what all types of pricings are there. It's not directly relevant, but we must know what all types of pricings there. Also note that this is very big topic, so I'm covering bit fast this topic because it will take longer time and I will spend more time while configuring pricing procedure and I will spend less time on theoretical concepts. So gross price is nothing but the basic price of material, excluding everything like your taxes, surcharges, or freight, anything. Then there next is a net price. So net price is nothing but your gross price plus any kind of duties and taxes. Then there is effective price. So effective price consider everything like your net price, that is your gross price, duties, taxes, surcharges, and discount. So it's a combination of net price plus any additional surcharge and discount. So note here surcharge means any unplanned cost that occurred, and discount itself means any kind of discount that might be planned or on the spot discount like that. Then how pricing procedure works. So try to understand here the overview of pricing procedure, then we can relate it very much while configuring pricing procedure. So we will see one by one all the boxes involved in pricing procedure, just overview, not in detail, but same time I will show in system as well how it is working. So see, when we create purchase order or any purchasing document like contract or your RFQ, that time this pricing procedure work depending on two factors, that is your vendor and your purchasing organization involved in that particular document. Here I am taking example of purchase order to I will speak everything about purchase order. So let's say I have vendor and purchasing organization defined in my purchase order. From this combination, system will determine which pricing procedure is assigned for these two combination. How that will determine that I will show you in system, but first we will discuss everything. Then from this pricing procedure, there will be various different conditions inside this pricing procedure, and those conditions are assigned to condition types. So these are the condition type, various condition types. So gross price PB00, then discount is RA01. It might be anything. You can define any key for this, but this will be the condition like price, gross price, discount, freight, surcharge, tax, GST, and whatnot. So for this pricing procedure, there will be various conditions. So out of that, there might be some mandatory condition, there might be some optional condition, there will be the all group of conditions will be there, and we will use whatever is appropriate for that particular procurement of goods or services. Then from this condition, system will identify access sequence. So again, note that access sequence is only relevant when you want to give some predefined conditions, like there will be, if certain vendor and material combination is there, then there will be some sort of tax, 1% tax or 2% discount, or maybe 3% of freight, anything like that. So if you want to define some predefined conditions as this material and vendor, we know, so there might be condition. Let's say you are procuring something in India and you have this vendor and purchasing group, and also you have some material, let's say electronic material, and government have GST of, let's say, 5% on electronics. So you may assign that conditions by default on material group, along with material group and material. So there will be 5% GST on that particular material as a tax. So that only, so access sequence we use only we want to give some predefined conditions. Then from this access sequence, system will identify which is the appropriate price for this, or any predefined condition is there, like maybe for this particular procurement there is outline agreement, or is there any condition maintained with vendor, material or plant, or vendor or plant, or any other key like material or material group or vendor or material group or plant, like that. If there is no access sequence in condition, then system will not check for this. In that case, we give directly manually prices. Then once through access sequence, so depending on condition access sequence, there will be conditions records, and from that condition record, system will identify appropriate conditions and what price is maintained for in that condition. System will give that price return to that purchase order for particular condition. It's not like that this price will be applicable for all conditions. Here I have taken example of one condition, that is PB00 or gross price. So this is how overall price work. Don't get confused with this condition type, access sequence and condition record. It will be used in case only we are retrieving some predefined conditions or predefined price for certain conditions or combinations, then only it will work. If it's not here, then from conditions we will directly provide manually price and it will get updated in purchase order. Okay, so this is how it works. So in nutshell, we give vendor and purchasing group in vendor, purchasing organization in purchase order. From that, system calculate, identify calculation schema, that is nothing but your pricing procedure, and from that pricing procedure it narrowed down condition types, and through access sequence it bring appropriate price to purchase order. So it's very straightforward, and if there is no access sequence maintained, then it's again very straightforward, conditions and directly manually provide price and it will get updated in purchase order. This is how usually pricing procedure works, just to overview. Then next, so what all steps are involved in pricing procedure? So we define condition types initially. Then if we want to retrieve some conditions or some combination of plant, material or company code or purchasing group or any key that is identifier for particular material and vendor combination or plant or company code, like that, any key, then only we will maintain these two things. If not, then just plain condition type. Then we club all those condition type together into the calculation schema, that is nothing but our pricing procedure. Then we define schema group. So under schema group we define vendor schema group and purchase organization schema group, and we club them together along with this pricing procedure. Then we assign that defined schema groups to the vendor, and then in case if we are going to use some predefined condition, then we maintain condition record with the help of certain T code that we will see next, and then we test this pricing procedure. So it's very simple, but sometimes people make it complicated by explaining this and not explaining this proper way. So this is just a search strategy for certain condition. These two things, don't get confused with this. If we just skip these two things for a while, so it will be very straightforward. Then I will explain one by one things in detail, but before that I want to explain how this pricing procedure work in system. So we have seen this thing now. I will relate this thing in system, so it will be better for you to understand. So I will go into system. So consider this purchase order here, and if I check here. So for this purchase order, there is some vendor and there is purchasing organization. So with the combination of these two things, system have identified. So if you go in this item tab and condition, and here you can see some condition types or price conditions. If you click on analysis, you will see which pricing procedure triggered here. So here SAN 000, this pricing procedure triggered, and all these conditions are inside this pricing procedure. So how it triggered exactly? So as I said, if you check in PPT, so from these two combination, system will identify pricing procedure. So we will see how it exactly identified here. So I will open another tab, go into SPRO, then SAP reference IMG or implementation guide. Under that, go into material management and purchasing, and under that check for conditions. So here are conditions, and under that you have option determine define price determination process. So under this everything will be there related to pricing. So here we have define schema determination. So if I go here define schema determination for standard purchase order, here if I check this SAN 000, this pricing procedure, it is assigned to this schema group, sorry, this schema group and this purchasing org. And where these two are defined, so these two are defined in previous step. So here, so we have defined here S1 schema group, and here we have defined again S1 purchasing org schema group, and here we have assigned everything together here for which pricing procedure, where it is. So my purchasing org is, yeah, so ZIN 0, sorry. So here I have mapped this purchasing or schema group to this purchasing organization, and in vendor, so if I go in purchase order and I directly go to vendor from here, I can check that in purchasing view. If I scroll down in purchasing data, I will see in this schema group for supplier is assigned here. So now I have combination of vendor pricing procedure and purchasing organization that is assigned here, that is this one. So S1, and it is assigned in purchasing for purchasing organization ZIN 0, and this S1 is assigned as a vendor schema group in vendor, and for this both this pricing procedure is assigned, and that's why it's came into picture. So from these two things, vendor and purchasing organization, system have determined this SAN 000 pricing procedure. Then next, in this pricing procedure there are different conditions. So let's see right away those all conditions. So I will go here, and if I go here in calculation schema and check here for SAN 000, so I will see, select this condition, go in control data, you can see all the defined condition under this pricing. So all these conditions are there, and same conditions you can check if you go in analysis, all these conditions are appearing here. But out of that, those are useful conditions that are only coming here, or maybe whomsoever created this purchase order, they have assigned here. Then we will see next thing as per our pricing procedure. So next is this access sequence to the condition type. So we will see individual condition type. Maybe in this case I will check RA01. So here by default RA01 is considered. So if I go back into the condition type, so second options from this pricing procedure, here we have condition type. So if I go inside and check for RA01, this one, it's a discount. And if I go inside, you will find various fields here, so that we will see further. Like once I go in condition type, I will explain all these fields. So this is how it determined this RH01 and this condition type. Then next is your access sequence. So again, sorry, I forgot to go into RH01. So we will check if any access sequence is maintained for this RH01. So see here, access sequence KB01 is maintained for RH01. Okay, so it's a KB01. Okay. Then we will see next thing. Then in this condition type, in this access sequence, if any combination or any data is maintained, that is a bringing this all details. So we will check that as well. So this KB01 is access sequence where this access sequence is maintained. So here define access sequence first tab. If you go here and check for access sequence KB01, yeah, this one is the access sequence. And if you check inside, so what all combinations are here for this access sequence? So first step is, so this 533 table is used, and in this table there is a combination of plant and material. So this three is there, and this exclusive things means if system find out its condition record in first step, then it will not go to the next record if you take this exclusive thing. If not, then system will go to the next record if system won't find condition record in first step. Then you can go inside and check fields as well. So what all fields are available? So plant and material, and these two are coming by default, release status and processing status. Don't worry about these two, it will come to every access sequence by default. Then where we maintain data into this access sequence or condition record. So we maintain data in condition record, but we will see through the help of this PPT that I have created here. Then a record for this condition type. So we maintain this condition records. Okay, I came completely back, I guess. So yeah, so we maintain this condition records here, maintain condition tables. So in here we create condition tables, and if there is certain predefined SAP condition tables that we cannot use till 500, we cannot use any condition record because that are these tables because that are defined by SAP for standard, and from 500 onwards, 501 onwards, we can create our uh, manual condition tables as well. So if I, let's say I try to create 499, although it's not there, system will, what will system say? It's not allowed. Why? Because this namespace is reserved for SAP and we can use from this to this. Okay. Okay, so I will create, show you everything once we're gonna create, but I'm just giving overview. And then with the help of ME K2, we maintain this table. So if I select my condition RA01 and I go inside, C system will give me all possible combinations here. And if I go inside, then I can maintain for which plant I want to maintain condition record and for which material, then press enter. Then inside you can see if there any record is maintained. So as of now, 3% discount is maintained for this combination. So for this plant and this material. So now check this again in purchase order, how that 3% by default coming, or if it is coming or not. So I will open same purchase order. So by default it 3 came, but we don't know whether it's given manually or someone put it. So what I will do, I will just update condition type and we can see whether it is appearing manually or updating manually or not. So see, system is taking by default this 3% because we have maintained that in condition record. So now you might have understand how we can use access sequence, condition table and condition record in order to bring some predefined conditions or predefined price or percent anything from this access sequence condition record and all. But if you don't want to use or use this record, then you have to give these things manually. So let's say here rest of conditions are not appearing. Let's say this is a price and rest of conditions are not appearing by default. So let's say I want to give freight as well. So FRA1 I can give it manually, and then I can give percent for this freight like this. So if you are giving it manually, then don't worry about this access sequence condition record and condition type. Just maintain this condition in pricing procedure and you can utilize this. You need this access sequence condition records, condition tables only if you wanted to bring some predefined combination or price. So then next, as I said, from condition record and manually both way we can bring prices here. So this is clear now. Then I have covered these steps as well already. Then we will see conditions. So we will see one by one now what all involved things are in pricing. So conditions. So condition are just agreed terms with the vendor or supplier regarding what will be the prices of service or material. Is there any discount or any surcharge is there or any tax, etc. The system determines this from these conditions the net effective price for PO and its rest of basic elements. Then condition can be maintained when you enter or create a quotation, info record, outline agreements or purchase orders. Then individual conditions are described by means the condition type. So vendor will give you only conditions. He will not give you like PB00 is condition type or RA01 we use. So it's completely flexible. You can use any keys for that. So vendor will just agree to some conditions and he won't care at all what condition types you are using. So depending on that conditions, we define condition types in SAP system. Okay, so these are the normally conditions. So price, so maybe purchase order, info record, contract, agreement like that. Then surcharges or discount for anything. Then delivery cost, so any freight, duties, taxes or other condition like rebate, cash, discount. So all these are condition that we agree with vendor. From these conditions, we define condition types. So condition types is nothing but individual condition are described by condition type in SAP, and condition type is a key that for alphanumeric combination key that we define the attributes and characteristic in order to achieve some business goals. Then in purchasing conditions that are valid for certain period, we call them as a time dependent conditions, and those conditions are without validity, there is no validity period, we call them independent conditions. So these are the few example. I mean, which category in which time dependent or time independent condition you can see. So info record is time dependent condition. Quotation is depending on type of document. Then scheduling agreement is also type depending on document type. Then contract is a time dependent condition, and purchase order is time independent condition. And these are the condition types, and these are the conditions. So gross price is a condition, and that gross price defined through the condition type PB00 in SAP system. So don't get confused with condition and condition types. Then there are 16 element. Okay, so first I will show you this condition types in system before going further. So we will later on we will directly start doing configuration, so that time I will not spend time in explaining all these things. So I will select here PB00 while explaining this condition types. Okay, so this is for gross price. So once you go inside, you can see various fields there. So we will see all these fields one by one. Okay, so condition type. So as I said, condition type is to it's representing some condition. So this PB00 is gross price. So we give this condition and along with its description. Then access sequence. Don't worry about this as of now. I will explain that later how to use this access sequence. Then we have control data 1. So under control data we have condition class. So condition classes is depend on which things we are gonna do, like it's a pricing, or this condition is representing some tax or extra pay or some other things like classification or wages, etc. So usually we use here like price, discount and taxes. These three are the main usually used condition classes here. Then next is condition type. So it's depend on which basis you are calculating. So you are calculating on percentage basis or fixed amount or quantity or volume like that. But mostly these first three are used in pricing procedure. Then condition category. So it again defined like what category of this condition type is. So it might be jurisdictional tax or any freight or cash discount or basic price or some variants like that. Then rounding rule. So rounding rule, as you know, rounding rule is round up or round down, or commercial means as it is. So depending on, maybe if you have value like 4.6, so it will get round up to the 5, or if you have value of 5.4, so it will get round down to 5. So that way. Then this plus and minus decide whether your condition type will make positive price or negative price in pricing procedure. Let's say I have discount, so definitely it will be minus from basic price, so it will be negative. If I have some freight, so it will be positive, so it will get add into pricing procedure, so it will be positive. Then second, we have condition groups. So in that condition group we have group conditions. So it indicate if this condition calculate its value by more than one items in that particular document. Then I'm covering here only important fields because there are so many fields and it will take forever to cover this. Then we have here changes which can be made. So in this we have, first one is manual entry. So here we define whether manual entry is possible or not in this condition type. Then header condition. So whether the condition that we are defining, it will be useful in header calculation in purchase order or at item level only, or both, so that we can decide here. Then this delete means whether these conditions can be deleted in pricing procedure if it's appear or by mistakenly we put there. Then we have amount oblique percentage, so that can be used whether can amount or percentage can be changed in pricing procedure. Then we have quantity relation. So quantity relation, can conversion factor between unit of measure be changed during processing or not, so that will indicate that. And this value that can be changed or not, so that we can define here. Then next important master data is nothing here, validity and all that things is we can give. Yeah, here we can give one more thing. So which pricing procedure we gonna use this condition by default, so we can put that here as well. Then next is scale. So scale again depend whether we are using scale on the basis of quantity or percentage or volume or value like that. So for that we use scale actually, but nothing much here. Then we have control data too. So in control data mostly conversion, so whether currency conversion is possible or allowed here. Then accruals here means if you can check this box, then you can indicate that if this is a statistical condition or how this condition will be useful. Then is there any important? Yeah, so that's our mostly fields, but yeah, if you have you want to check anything, so you can just go and press F1 and system will give you detail about that particular condition, so you can check all fields what is use of those. Okay, so next yeah, so we have done with condition type. Then we have um, yeah, so okay, this I guess I will cover later, not here. Okay, I will cover this later. Then we have access sequence. So how access sequence is useful, that we have seen. So access sequence is search strategy by means which the system searches valid record. So we have seen example for discount. So system search valid record for combination of material and plant. So if that material and plant come for that combination, then system will give a 3% discount over this. So through access sequence we have managed that. Then it consists of one or more accesses, that also we have seen in RA01 there were two records, one is plant and material and other one is contract header or something that. So there might be 10 or 15 or any number of record or conditions you can maintain there in access sequence. So what exactly access sequence do? We have already seen. So with access sequence will search appropriate predefined keys and it will narrow down from spatial to general pricing things or conditions or condition records from that pricing. So here we have example, we have taken seen already example for discount. So where that system checked first combination for material and plant, then there was header data from contract and other one, and system selected first one because system got record in first itself and this exclusive stop to checking in next condition record. So this is how we can use access sequence to find out from spatial condition type to the general condition type. If there is no data here, system will ask you to put that thing manually. Then we have condition record and condition type. So we have already seen this condition record as well. So in condition table, we maintain condition record. So that condition record is nothing but the certain combination in condition table. And we have given some record or details about that material and plant combination that we have already seen. So here also example of material price agreed with vendor or special discount. So we checked here discount in pricing procedure that I have shown. Then condition table determines the combination of fees or yields that we have already seen. That field in our example was material and plant and how system calculated from that. Then next is calculation schema in pricing. So this is really important and this covers most of pricing configurations. So it is very important. So calculation schema in pricing. So calculation schema is nothing but combination of all conditions that we're going to use in that pricing procedure. So calculation schema groups together all the conditions that are relevant for price determination. So it specifies the below. So condition types there from to reference, manual or automatic statistical indicator, then sequence of condition or any special requirement from a website is there. So that will cover all this. So this is how this calculation schema look like, but I will show you in system itself. So we will get better idea. So here if I go in calculation schema here and I will search for standard pricing procedure, that is RM0000. Select this and go into control data. So here we see combination of all the conditions that are relevant for this pricing procedure. So here then we have these 16 fields and that are really important, and this is where we configure all pricing procedure. Rest all things are easy to maintain like your access sequence, all that, but this is really important and we must know how what field and what all these 16 fields do. So we will see one by one of what all these 16 fields are. So once we define our conditions, then we decide proper sequence in which sequence we're gonna put that condition, and those condition gonna execute while calculating price in the same sequence. So here first we have step. So step is nothing but step, which step to consider first, second, and so on. So your step which determine the sequence of the condition within a pricing procedure. In the pricing procedure, it reflects position of that condition type. So on first position here we have PB00 and first second condition we have PBXX and so on, all these conditions. Then second one is counter, this column. So in counter, so counter you can consider as a mini step. So this, so if you see here this first two, it both have first step, but if you check counter, so here for PB00 we have one and PBXX we have two. So it dividing sub step or mini step we can say. So first has two step, one 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 two and one three and so on. So like that we can define mini steps. So here you can see all similar type conditions have mini steps. So here all discount things or surcharges here they have till 10.16. So like that. So to defining mini step, we use counter. Then next we have condition type. So it is again representing individual condition. So here along with condition type, we can see description of that condition type. So this is the condition type that we have defined, and we are now clubbing all conditions together, and its description you can see here. Then next is from and to. So it is very important field from and to. So what exactly it do? So if you check here RA01, so it's 100, and we have given a reference of 1. So 1 is PB00 or PBXX. Out of these two, anything will be there. If you check here 22, so it has from 20 and 21. So what this 22 will do, it will consider all these three as a reference. So net value in including discount, plus if there are any taxes, so it will this plus this plus this, it will make addition of this and it will store this in this field. So if there is from to, it will make addition. If there is only from, then it will consider that field as a reference. In this case PB00 is or PBXX is a reference, so we will see that in example here. So let's say my PB00 is 100 and my discount, as we have seen, RA01 is 3%. So this will consider 100 as a base and 3%. So 3% of 100 is 3. If I change this price to 200, still system will consider 3% of 200 is 6. So this way system consider this PBXS or PB00 as a base, and depending on it changes this. So this is how we use this from. So here this discount is considering this any of this whatever is available as a base price, and applying 3% discount on that price. So this is how this from work. And this two also, if this from and to is there, it will add all those range fields, whatever price is coming in those fields, it will add those. Then next we have manual. So this manual, this indicator reflect the purchase order processing. In this case, the specific condition type can be determined manually. So as I shown in system, I have added here FRA1. So I added this condition manually. It didn't appear automatically. However, if we check this RA01, so it is not manual, right? So, but FRA1, where is that? Yeah, so this one, this is a manual condition. That's why I have added it manually. Okay, so this is the difference. Like if we wanted some condition to be manual, we can add them. If we don't want, we can remove this. Then next one is required or mandatory. So next one. So if any condition you want to make it required, without that we cannot proceed further. You want this condition always in your pricing procedure, then you can tick this. So this will be the mandatory condition in this pricing procedure. Then next one is statistical. So this statistical is useful only for calculations. So this field state where the values of subtotals must be captured in which table and which field. So for example, check this. So what we are doing, we are calculating net value including discount, and it will get stored in this 7 field. So what is this 7 field? We will check here. So this is getting saved in this field KOMP BONBA for some other calculation purpose. Or even we can use this statistical just for calculation. So here we are calculating next. So see, this is not condition, it is just statistical. Sorry, it is not ticked here. Yeah, we can consider here freight. So all these are statistical. It will be just for calculation purpose, this freights and all. So if you take this, it will be, this condition will be useful only for calculation purpose, but nothing else. Then next we have print. So this print is useful if the value of this field list whether one can print in the line item or print form in particular document, in this case purchase order. So if you want to print this in your pricing document, then you can just make it active and this can be printed. Then next is subtotal. So the value of this field state whether the value of subtotal must be captured, that is in which table and which field. So control which field condition amounts or subtotals are saved. So in subtotal we save values. I have shown here in some table we are saving these values, even here for S. So this pricing gets saved in, yeah, so it's updating this effective value in this table, and maybe from that table we can use for other purposes. Then we have this required or requirement. So this requirement field is mostly, these next three fields are mostly useful for ABAP in order to do some coding or some other functionalities with this pricing procedure. So here 60 is selected. So what exactly? Not for service tax. So maybe some service tax things are managed here from ABAP side. So don't worry about these three fields. These three are for ABAP coding, or some we want to gain something from ABAP or some user exits or other functions from a website. In this case only these three conditions can be used. So what these three are: that requirement, then alternative calculation type for base value, and alternative calculation type. So these three conditions are useful if you want to do some ABAP coding in backend, or if you want to achieve something through ABAP that is not possible with this pricing condition. Then last two fields are the values that we can maybe use for deductions, revenue, or freight, or rebate, whatever, from which account will be responsible for deduction and credit of this particular values. So responsible account we can achieve through this key. So for this case there is a GL account assigned in background, and which will be responsible to bearing this cost for this field. So these are the 16 fields and very important fields in pricing procedure, and this decides how your pricing will work actually. Then next we will see schema group. So schema group I have already shown. So schema group is utilized to determine the pricing procedure in purchase order, and schema group has two component: one is vendor and other one is purchasing organization. Also schema group is used to map. So this is again repetitive sentence. So here I will explain you what all this. So I have already told you in my purchase order I have vendor and purchasing organization. For vendor we have assigned some schema group while maintaining vendor in BP or XK01 transaction. So that schema group will be here. In my case it is S1. So it will find here for S1 which pricing procedure is assigned, and same time for my purchasing organization another purchasing or schema group is assigned, and that will identify here which schema group is assigned, and then combination of these two will decide which pricing will come. If there is no schema group assigned for any of this, so it will, so see example, in this case only purchasing or schema is assigned, so it will consider this. In this case only vendor schema is assigned, so this will consider this pricing procedure. If nothing is assigned, then it will consider blank pricing procedure, so standard pricing procedure. So this is how this schema work. Then this determination where we assign pricing and everything together. So here that I have already shown. Then this is here we will start defining our pricing procedure. But before starting with our pricing procedure, we should know which conditions we're gonna use. So we're gonna use all these conditions here. So first we define condition types. So I will start configuration, and this is the important. Now we will develop one pricing procedure from scratch. So I will go into system and we will do one by one. So first step is define condition type. So you can go through path and as well as T code is there, but I prefer path because everything is in same thing. So what I will do first, always try to copy standard pricing procedure here. So this, yeah, I will go from scratch. So yeah, once you go in this path conditions, then define pricing. Here you have calculation schema, that is nothing but your combination of all price conditions. So go into that and copy standard pricing procedure. So this one is RM00. Copy this pricing procedure and give any name. So I will give here name ABC triple zero or ABC. Okay, ABC triple zero, and I will give name. Okay, anything you can give. Then press enter and say here copy all. Then just press enter because all conditions are getting copied. So it's copied all conditions. Then save it. So it is saved. Then select this condition and go in control data. Now select which conditions you wanted here and which are not relevant to you. So yeah, so here, yeah. So I wanted this condition. First, you have to be careful, like whatever conditions customer has given to you, depending upon that, you have to decide which conditions you're gonna use. So whatever I don't want, I will remove those conditions. And if anything is not there, I will add. So these two conditions I don't have mentioned in this pricing procedure. So I will use them and I will show you how we can create condition type and how we can add them. So I need PB00, PBX, then I need R00, that is discount on gross. So here discount on gross. So I need this RA01. Then I will delete rest of conditions here. I don't want those conditions. Okay. So our dis gross discount, the discount on quantity and absolute discount, discount on quantity, gross discount. Then surcharge, maybe I will not use to make it easy pricing procedure. So remove all that surcharge things. Or you can maintain all your own pricing conditions that I will also show you. Maybe we can use instead of PB00, we will create our own condition type. Then I will keep this two. Then freight, maybe I just need FRA1, B1, C1. Okay, so I will keep just FRA1, B1, C1. Rest, let's say I don't want all other condition. I will keep cash discount. I don't want this rebate. I will keep actual price. Then the statistical value. I don't want any Z condition in my pricing procedure. So delete all those. So keep your pricing procedure and save it. Now I don't have conditions that I want here. So what I will do, I will go into condition type. Yeah, before that I want to take a note of pricing procedure and what all things I am defining. So I have copied pricing procedure or schema with ABC triple zero. Okay, then I will go into system again and now I will create two condition type that I wanted. So let's say there is no GST conditions maintained and I want to maintain those conditions. So I will go here and then, yeah, so here no GST conditions maintained. So what I will do, GST is nothing but freight in percentage or tax in percentage. So I will select this condition, or if you want to create your own, you can create directly new and maintain everything. But as I know it's freight, so to save time, I will directly copy this. And let's say I will change it is to GST. And there are two type of GST. One is on GST1. So this will be GST on state GST, maybe state GST in percentage. Don't worry about this access sequence, we're going to use that later. Then if you want to change anything here, you can change. It will be plus only, as it will add that value. Then again, where you want in item level, or header level, so all that things you can do. I have already explained all these fields, so you can change if you want. And don't worry about this access sequence, we're going to use this later. So this will be my first condition. Save it. So it will be state GST. Then again I want to create second GST, so that will be GST2, and it will be central government GST. Okay, it will be very similar, but you can create any condition like that only, because conditions broadly differentiated between price, discount, surcharges, taxes. So you will find standard conditions, so it's better to copy to save time, but you can create your own if there is different requirement. So I have created two conditions, GST1 and GST2. Okay, then I will go in PPT. So we have defined condition types, then define access sequence. So access sequencing I will explain lastly once we define everything. As I said, access sequence, condition record, and all these things are required only if you wanted to bring some predefined condition from system. Then condition table also I will explain later. Then define calculation schema. So I have already did that. So this calculation schema I have copied uh, 000 ABC 000. So I have already copied that calculation schema or pricing procedure. Then again I will go into, yeah. Then we will define schema group. Okay, sorry. In calculation schema, I haven't added my GST condition. So it's still, I have defined, but it's not complete. So I will go again in my schema and I will search for, anyway, it's here only. So yeah, again, go and add your remaining conditions. So see, here all conditions are here, but my two conditions are missing. So I will add that condition in tax section. So here counter is 30. So maybe I will use 32. So 32 is not here. So I will use 32 counter. So just do new entry, or you can do other way as well. Just select this percentage I want. So copy this, just change this counter to 32 and change your condition type. What was my condition? GST1. Okay. Then this GST one, yeah, this. So how you want to calculate, on which basis? If you want to calculate this on a basis of gross price, then you can put here 1. If you want to calculate this GST on net price, then you can put 20. So as I know, this GST is depending on gross price of material and not a net price. I'm not sure, I'm just giving example. So you can change accordingly. In my case, I wanted it on gross price. So I given reference type as a 1 instead of 20. Then whether I want this condition manually or required, in my case, I want it required because government has it rule and the tax must be there. Okay, then again, I will do same for other condition, that is GST2. So this will be GST2 and counter again will be 2 because I cannot use same counter, right? So 32, 1 is GST1 and 32, 2 is GST2. And again, my reference will be gross price of material. So that is 1. It might be manually given or it might be appearing from some condition records. Okay. So yeah, one more thing. This PBXX will trigger when you are providing price manually in purchase order, then PBXX will trigger. If you have some condition record maintained like purchasing info record or some previously you have created same purchase order or maybe your price coming from contract or something, then PB00 will trigger. So make it clear. Then save this condition. So what we have did so far, we have just created condition type and we have merged all those condition types together. So here I just copied for saving time or all conditions, and I just put my two conditions that I have created here, and that too not manually. It will be default condition there, so it will appear there. Then save it. Then next we will define schema group. So next setting, go back. Yeah, so here we have define schema group. Go into that. Then define schema group for suppliers. So let's say what letter we have here. 02 is not there, so I will use 02, 02 SAP tutorial, or I will use shortcut SAP tutorial vendor schema group. Okay, save it. So 02 I have used. I will just copy that. My vendor schema group is 02. Because it will help to go further. Then yeah, then we will go back. Then I will define schema group for purchasing organization. So schema group for purchasing organization, you can define any between 1 to 3 alphanumeric combinations. So I will create new entry. Then I will give name, let's say SAP tutorial purchasing org. So SAP tutorial purch org schema. You can give any name, but I'm just giving here for test. So I will take a note of it as well. Purch org schema, that is this one I have defined. So far I have defined vendor schema group, purchasing or schema group. It's just numbers and description, that's it. Don't worry about it. Then this is important thing, assign that schema group to purchasing organization. So we have created this purchasing schema group that we will assign to what is our purchasing organization, to that purchasing organization. So in my case, my purchasing organization is ZIN1. Where is that? Yeah. So here I will assign my newly created schema group and save it. Okay, so this thing is done. So we have defined all schema groups, whatever required for this pricing procedure. Then next is define schema determination. So we have already created all schema group. Now we will club them with pricing procedures. So again, go into system. So next is define schema determination or schema determination. Again, here we have different options. So whether we are defining this pricing procedure for stock transfer order or schema for determination of market price or purchase order. So we are interested here in purchase order. So select first option. Then go to new entry. Then select here your purchasing group, purchasing or schema group. So in my case, that is STPO. Then what is your supplier schema group that I have defined 02. Then what pricing procedure you are interested for this all things. So I can select my pricing procedure is ABC 000. Save it. Okay. Then next is, okay, I have done this already, assign schema group to, okay. So next one is, we have done this. So next one is assign your, sorry. Yeah. So next one is assign this schema group to your vendor. So what I will do, I will use existing vendor itself to save time. So what I will do, this 02, I will assign to my existing vendor. So I will go into BP. So what is my vendor here? I am using this vendor 22 084. So I have to check what is its BP number. So I will check on table SE16, and then IBP supplier is the table where we can check BP and vendor combination. So I have vendor and I wanted to find out its business partner number. So this is the business partner number. Okay, cool. So go into BP and edit your business partner. Okay, then I wanted to update its schema group. So just go into purchasing, and here in purchasing data, my schema group is 02, and save it. Okay, it's updated. Now what I will do, so I have done all the things that are required for pricing. Don't worry about these two things that we will do later. Later means after this testing. Then condition record also we will see later. So these three things are useful only if you want to bring some conditions. Don't worry about that. We will see that shortly. Then we will test whether this pricing procedure is working or not. So what I will do, I will go into system and I will try to create some purchase order with this vendor and supplier combination. So my supplier is this, then my purchasing details, so purchasing organization this. So for these two combination I have assigned new pricing procedure that we created, ABC 000. So let's check whether it's appearing or not. Material we can use any. As of now we haven't mentioned any conditions, so we can use any material. Then my plant is 0001. Yeah. So see, I have maintained these two condition mandatory, yes, that are appearing by default. Then if I go into analysis, I can see my pricing procedure is appearing here and all these conditions only we have maintained, right? So this pricing procedure is working fine. We have defined all condition and all these things are coming. So depending on GST, 2%, let's say for state and 2% for central, we can give these details. Okay, this is not maintained. Okay, I will maintain this right away. Or I can change this price to INR. Oh, my plant is IN10. Okay, so again I can go here. Yeah, so and this is coming by default because of we have maintained this record in um, condition types. Okay, so my GST2, and again here also 2, so it should add. So see, it's getting added because we have done plus in pricing procedure. Now I will show you, so my pricing procedure working 100% fine. So now I will show why these three things are here and how these are useful. Many people have confusion with these three things only. So this is not that hard. Once you define your pricing, these three things will be easy. Now I will show you how to use these three things. Okay, so let's go into system. First we will define some access sequence. So go into system. Now don't worry about this pricing. So we have maintained pricing very well, nothing is there. Now why we need this access sequence? So access sequence will decide how to get your access particular conditions for that price. So I have GST price, so I will maintain one access sequence with GST name only, or any name you can give. So I will just create here new entry. Then what will be my access sequence name? So let's say I will put here GST only, GST access sequence. then press enter. Yeah, so I have maintained this access sequence. Then you can select category here depending on what category it comes under. So access sequence relevant for pricing or rebate, so it's relevant for pricing, so I will keep it blank. Then select this and go into accesses. So once you go in accesses, then you must know other thing, that is number of that table. So if you click on new entry and if you go in table number, here you can see different combinations, and that's when other thing came into picture that I will open in new tab. So go again in SPRO and try to relate it with condition table. So again, material management, where it is, yeah, material management, purchasing, then conditions, and define here. So if you go here, then this maintain condition table will come into the picture. So go here, then we will see first of all what all conditions are available there. So select here and you can see what also this condition table is nothing but the combination of all conditions. So here we can see material and plant is there. So let's say now I am interested to create a combination of material group and plant. So let's say depending on GST, I have requirement if I am buying certain category of material. Let's say I'm material I am buying is came from electronic or maybe automobile. So let's say for automobile, 6% GST is there. So that is my condition, and it should pick automatically in system if I am buying any automobile material. So for that there will be different material group definitely. So we will do that way. So I am checking here if material, plant and vendor combination is available. If not, is it's not there, so I will try to maintain my own, but you can check first if this combination is there, then which number is free, so I can use only 501 onwards. So 501 itself is available, so I will use that. So go into here, so I will go into create, then I will use 501, press enter. Okay, 501 is already exist, then 502 is also exist, so maybe I will use 555. Hopefully it is also used. Maybe 530. Yeah, it's available. Okay, so once you go here, search for what key fields you required. So in my case, I want material group, plant, and vendor. So I will search for material group here. Okay, material group is here, so just double click on it, then plant, then I will search for vendor or supplier. Okay, vendor is not here, so supplier. Yeah, supplier. In case if you select anything wrongly, let's say in this case you selected material as well, or you can use material type as well, because depending on material type you can use. So let's say I don't want material here, I can select that and I can delete it from here. Then once you selected all the field that you want, just generate it. Yes. So this is generated, and go back. So 530, I have maintained this table number. So I will take this also account. So I have created table 530. Okay. Then go back. We have maintained this. Now again, I will go into main thing. So I have maintained condition table. I have maintained access. I am maintaining access sequence. So I will go back into access sequence and then I give here number maybe 10. Then what is my table? 530. This is my first table. So it is a combination of material group, plant and supplier. Maybe if I want to use another 20, let's say what was there, 533 material and plant. Yeah, so this one and so on. You can add all different type of keys here depending on you gonna provide details for this particular GST access sequence. So just save it. I have created GST access sequence. Now assign this GST access sequence to your pricing procedure or your condition type. Okay, let me check fields. Yeah, it's appearing properly. Then fields for this, it's also appearing properly, so no issue. Just save it. Okay, so it's saved. Go back. GST is my access sequence, so I will just take a note of it. My access sequence is GST. Now go into your condition types and assign that access sequence here. So search for your GST1 and GST2. Go here and give your access sequence GST. Save it. Now again go back and give access sequence for your another condition. It might be different, but in this case I am just giving example how this access sequence condition table and condition records works. Okay, so now I have maintained this condition table and access sequence into condition types. So what I have done now, if I go in sequence, so first we maintain condition type, then we define access sequence along with condition table, then we add all these conditions. So once we do these three type, then our condition type will be full or 100% or completed. Then we club those together, then we create schema groups for vendor purchasing organization and we club them together with pricing procedure, and we assign that pricing procedure for document type where standard purchasing org or so. Then we map that vendor schema into vendor or supplier, and then next step is maintain condition record. So here as of now, even I go in purchase order, still this GST will not come by default because I haven't maintained anything against those condition record. So I haven't maintained condition record for GST condition type. So I have to go again, and there is a T code to maintain condition record, that is MEK2. So this is the T code to maintain condition records, and there is no limit. You can maintain n number of condition records. So MEK2. Once you go inside, system will ask you condition type. So my condition type is GST1. As soon as I go inside, so see, I have assigned only two possible condition tables there. So two are appearing. Out of that, which one I wanted to maintain? So let's say first I wanted to maintain material group. So I will, okay, I will go here. So what material group I wanted? Let's say 400. And this is my plant and this is supplier. So go inside. Then who is my supplier? So I will go here. So I will try to select different material group if there is any for automobile is there. I don't know if it is, or let's say electronic component. So EC is material group, and for that let's say this one is the supplier. Then how much GST will be there? So let's say for electronic in India we have 7% GST, and that will be in INR. Is there any particular validity? So no, I'm not worried about validity, and just save it. You can also do scaling here itself. So scaling means, let's say whether vendor give you 10 quantity, then 7%. For GST it will not be the applicable, but for other conditions like for discount and all that, you can do scaling. So for 10 quantity, 7% discount will be there. For 20 quantities, let's say 6.5% discount will be there, and so on. You can do, let's say if you buy 100 quantities, there will be 6% discount, and so on GST. Definitely it's not right example, but I'm just giving you things that you can maintain. Okay, then go back and save this for condition relevant to this GC, sorry, this material group. I will maintain this material group also as a 400, so we will see how this condition record is working. Then again I will give this vendor, then amount, let's say I use 3% here, INR. Okay, so and so on. You can maintain for as many number of as you want, depending on type of component you are procuring. Okay, same for GST2. So in this case, let's say for GST2 I will maintain different tax. So for this vendor, again for same vendor, sorry, for 400 I am maintaining 3% only, INR. Save it. Okay, I came directly out. Okay, okay, this is my material group. Okay, execute. Supplier, then amount 3. Okay, save it. Then I am gonna change this group to EC, and again same supplier, amount will be 7 and INR. Okay, now save it. So what I have did, I will go in pricing procedure. So now my 100% pricing procedure is defined. I have defined condition types. I clubbed them together. Then I created the schema groups or vendor purchasing organization, and I mapped them with pricing procedure with this calculation schema. Here I have mapped that with document type. Then I have added so vendor schema group into pricing, and then I have defined access sequence for per condition types and maintain table for them, and then maintain record as well. Now time of testing. So we will go in system. So I have PO open anywhere, no? So I will create one PO ME21N. So I will take same example, same vendor that I have. Then now we already checked pricing procedure is working. Now we gonna check whether the conditions that we defined, whether those conditions are working or not. Especially we are focusing on GST things, how that access sequence, pricing and everything works. My plant is this. Yeah, so material group is very important here. So for now I will use 400. Let's see. So C, in GST system by default pick 3%. Now I cannot change material group, but I can show you. Okay, this I will change it. Okay, currency translation error in pricing. Cool. Yeah, here also INR. Okay, so what I will do, I will create another line item for same combination. I will just change. So I will change here just material group. So instead of material group, I will use here EC, and let's see what system brings. Okay, select here line item 20. Okay, update pricing, carry out new pricing, and let's see. This material group got changed automatically. Okay, so maybe I will create another purchase order. So let's save this. But yeah, this 3% system is picking appropriate from condition record because this material group got changed. That's why I'm not able to create that purchase order properly, but no issue. I will create new purchase order with different material group. So, okay. It's just testing. In ideally that material group will not be the different, but for just testing I am utilizing this. So my group will be EC, or I will select here EC. Where is that? Yeah, this one. Plant is this. Storage location will be this. So just press enter. Why it's changing by default? Okay, because I might have assigned this in material, definitely. Yeah. So I have to select different material. So what I will do, I will create new material here with purchasing group, the different. So MM01. Sorry, material group is different. So mechanical. Sorry, just bad mistake. Actually, we have to put it here, and I was testing directly. I was trying to change it there. It will not work that way. So yeah, it just bad mistake or silly mistake, I would say. Okay, so this is my new material that I will use in pricing procedure. Okay, so it should work now. Yeah, so this one I have already created. Let's put this new material as well. Okay, here INR. For second line item, it must be INR. So see here we have maintained it's coming 7. I guess I have done some mistake for GST1, but yeah, this is how this access sequence and pricing procedure will work, or that condition table and everything. So although we have same things, but depending on condition what we have maintained, access sequence, condition table and condition record will bring appropriate data in pricing procedure. So this is how pricing procedure work. Don't worry if you are getting confused, then avoid these three things initially. Directly do rest of things and then try to learn these three things. It's really easy if you remember once. So what we have seen today, yeah. So how pricing procedure works, then steps, what all steps are there in pricing procedure, then condition and condition types, then access sequence, condition record and condition table, and how to maintain that condition record, then calculation schema, then schema group and schema determination and how we assign them, then 16 element in pricing procedure, or that 16 fields in schema determination here in calculation schema. Then we have configured complete pricing procedure and we have tested that pricing procedure. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you are clear with pricing procedure now. If you are still new on my channel, please subscribe and share this video who wanted to learn SAP MM. Thanks. And if you have any questions, put comments in comment section and I will try to answer all of them. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.